In Papua New Guinea, we had a traditional economy, and our traditional economy was based on barter system. And our barter system was monitored by our big men. And our big men were called the chiefs in our traditional society. They are the one that monitored the flow of goods and services within the villages from tribes and from clans. So our traditional economy was the perfect economy of our during our ancestral period of time. And during the traditional period of time, our big men has a lot of wives, and they have a lot of wives, and they have a lot of, pigs and a lot of gardens, and they were, materially, they had a lot of wealth, and because of having a lot of wives and a lot of pig and a lot of garden, they were able to feed their people. So they were called, chiefs. But our traditional leadership was not based on noble birth. It was based on hard work. As long as you work hard and you were able to provide for the community and the villages around you, you were able to be, you were able to recognize as a leader. So our traditional economy was based on those, big man society and barter system. And we had a perfect democracy. And a traditional leadership style is a perfect democracy because there was no census. The only way to prove that you were a leader is about you making a lot of gardens, you having a lot of wives, and able to feed the entire village and your allied clans and enemy clans with the produce of your garden, with the product, with the food that you produce from your garden or from your hard work. And that is how the leadership was, transferred. Leadership was not based on census or based on noble blood. And that's not what our society was. And when we look at our modern economy, the modern economy is based on money and based on the census. As long as you have a lot of money, they recognize you as a leader. When you have a lot of business, you tend to be a leader because that's materially the wealth of your money and your material possession has made you become a leader, but that does not mean that you are a leader because leadership is different from having material possession. Because leadership is about maneuvering problems and able to fix people's problems. When we look at our traditional economy, our traditional leaderships, they look after their people. They look after their people very well. Like for example, the chiefs in the village will look out for those poor people, and when they found that there were poor people living among the clan without pig or without a garden, they knew that they won't help those people, but a way to fix this problem was giving a piglet, a small piglet or the mother pig or the female pig to the poor families. And the poor families, they know that psychologically the chiefs know that they are lazy people. But the only way to make them work is to give them the pig. Because why? The pig, they eat food. They don't just grow up like a plant, They eat food and they grow up. So when chiefs give the piglets to them or the female pig to the poor family has to embrace, has to please the chief by working. They literally go out there into the bush and they cut a bush. They make garden and they start to look after the pig and to honor their chief that they have done according to what chief was expecting. So they look after pigs and they become a productive society, a productive individuals in a community. And they become more productive in the chiefs too. They have a lot of pigs, a lot of gardens, and they become a chiefs again. So that was the traditional economy of Papua New Guinea. And when we look at the current economy, only rich are rich, poor are poor. And how could we help our poor people become economically independent? We cannot do that because it's about money, money and power. Power and perks and privilege. Money, power, perks and privilege is something that people do not want to share. Because our economy is literally based on money. People are saying money is power. Money is God. And it's hard to share money because that's how the world we are in right now. How can we fix the problem of poverty? And how can we fix the problem of unemployment? How can we fix the problem of shifting of immigration? Like families are living places to go to suburb areas, go to our settlements, go to our city centers, because they feel like there's more opportunity in the city. But literally, in the city, they have shanty towns, they have settlements, and the problem in the city is west and west back in the village. That is why our problem today is complex, not like our traditional society where our economy was based on barter system, where we exchange from banana to sweet potato, and seko to taro, and from fish to pig meat and things like that. Our barter system has been done away, and we are living in a caste society. But in a caste society, our problem is so complex, and that is when our leadership is matter in those areas. Because if our leaders are not continually magnifying or continually upholding their leadership responsibility by distributing the goods and services equally among the society, then we have a problem. I mean, we cannot say everybody has to get a fair share. What we are saying is that every individual have their own economic convenience according to the status of lifestyle they live, according to the social status, according to the economical status. We cannot say, give me everything that I need. It's hard. But there is a way that we can create a convenience among the people and among the society, among our families. But this is not what's happening, because our traditional leadership has set a benchmark. And leaders of today, our modern Papua New Guinea leaders, are of trekking. They are not thinking. They are not visiting the very history that we grow up with. They are not looking at our traditional history, our Bigman system, because they think that they can just adapt to our Western civilization and Western leadership, and they are missing the point. And that is why I'm encouraging our leaders to look back to your history, because your history will never lie. Look back to your forebears. Look back to your ancestors, because your ancestors has the right and a rightful answer. They have the answers to all the problems. And if we can align our Western civilization leadership, our Western minister system, with our traditional Bigman system and with our traditional barter system, and if we can integrate them and find answers in between those leadership styles, I know that we can find a solution. But when we are not doing that, that means that we are only thinking about our power, our perks, and our privilege, and our fame, and our wealth. We are not thinking about our people. That is when we are making a big mistake. That is when we are missing the link. We need to connect the link. We need to connect the missing link. And that is why I'm encouraging our governors, I'm encouraging our MPs to think, to use their head. To be a real Papua New Guinean, you've got to think like a Papua New Guinean. If you want to be a Melanesian, think like a Melanesian. And you have to think like a Melanesian and integrate the Western civilization by working together, by aligning them. Look at the Asians. The Asian country, they are so critical about their culture. They are preserving their culture. They are inventing cars in their language. They are inventing products in their language. What's wrong with us, Papua New Guineans? What is wrong with us? We can do the same thing. If we are aligning our concept and our belief and our faith and our history together, we can align and we can become more productive, than become the cleaner. Because our education system was designed in a way that is called consumer service oriented. We will never invent anything. And that is why, as a Papua New Guinean, we have to think outside the box. If we want to lead this nation to the next millennia, if we want to lead our people, if we want to lead our country, if we want to lead our district to our next millennia, we have to think outside the box. That is why I'm encouraging our leaders to look back to our traditional leadership style and see what is missing, and let's fix what is missing. And I know that if we do that, our ancestors will never lie, because they were men of principles. They were gods. They were like prophets. They were like seers. Let's look back to their history, and we will find answers in there, and we will be able to do what is right and able to redefine our leadership by aligning with the Western minister system leadership. I know that we can do much better if we look back to our history and if we seek some advice, if we go back to our villages and see what is happening right there in a village level. Seek advice from those old people. Ask them what is missing, and they will tell you what is missing. And I know that we can do better than that. Therefore, I'm encouraging everybody, whosoever you are, your father or mother or a member or a governor, whosoever, let's look back to our history and help our people become more productive than become bystander and become idle-minded. And I know that we can do better than that. Thank you for watching this movie. I'll keep posting in the next segment.